My name is Rachel Maldonado. My website is rhmaldonado.com. Belief in the human spirit and desire to connect is the reason I want to tell your story and mine. And I am with Dr. Mark Hutchinson, and he has some incredible experiences. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. It's been a while, but always good to interact with you again.
Yeah. So, I think it's kind of interesting in your career as an orthopedic surgeon, you're also an Eagle Scout.
Yes.
Can you tell me about this?
Actually, I love the fact that you say that you are an Eagle Scout, because they actually say once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. My wife at one point, somebody said, "Oh yeah, my husband was an Eagle Scout." And she goes, "What, is he dead?" once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. In fact, it's led me down my path, I think, helpfully, when I was looking at becoming an orthopedic surgeon and going through residency interviews. Where I was at Michigan State University, I was asked the question, were you an Eagle Scout, and what was your Eagle Scout project? And I was amazed to have that question. Not everybody asked the question. And later, when I got accepted to that residency, I asked the chairman why. And he said, well, what I've learned is that not only are you have to be dedicated to achieve that rank, actually, it meant that you had a strong family support network, because to be able to go to all those meetings and do all that stuff, you had to have a strong family. And so because of those two things, he found those attractive qualities for an orthopedic surgeon in one of his residents. And it's one of the reasons I got the opportunity to be who I am today.
Wow. I really think that's interesting. That chairman had some insight.
He was an amazing man and a great mentor. Yes.
Wow. So in addition to the Eagle Scout, you have some really interesting experience, and you have been the team physician at the Olympics.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I've lived a blessed life. There's no question that I have. As an orthopedic surgeon, I did a fellowship in sports medicine, and I love working with athletes. And one of my dreams from the very early on in my career was to work with Olympic level athletes. And I just had that good fortune. Very quickly, as I started practice at the University of Illinois, I was looking for opportunities, and the United States rhythmic gymnastics teams was practicing in Downers Grove. And so I said, let me see if I could go volunteer. And I went with the CV in my back pocket and hoping to meet somebody. And across the gym, this woman comes walking over, big smile, saying, "Mark, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Gloria, what are you doing here?" Well, she was the team sports psychologist. She was already with them. And I told her why. And she goes, "Well, let me introduce you to the house mother, the coach, and the head of USA Gymnastics." And that lucky opportunity opened the door to the rest of my Olympic career.
Well, that is incredible. I like, though, that you had all this initiative. You have your CV in your back pocket. You go to volunteer. So yes, lucky break, but you also made it happen. I love it.
Oh, you have to be ready for the opportunities. You have the opportunities will present themselves in a variety of ways, but you have to be ready for them. Yes.
And what Olympic Games have you been the team physician for?
Well, with the rhythmic gymnastics team, I worked with them at the 1996 Games in Atlanta. And then in 2006, I was able to work with the United States Paralympic team in Torino. And then in 2016, I was the team physician for the United States team in Rio. I've also been, I served Team USA for 2 Pan American Games and 2 World University Games, and traveled with a variety of United States teams, including USA Basketball, USA Soccer, USA Field Hockey, USA Gymnastics, around the world, serving as some of their doctors.
And that must just be incredible. You are doing something that few people will ever get to be a part of. The Olympics is very special. And do you have any memories that stand out You've been doing this a long time, the team physician.
Well, clearly every opportunity was wonderful. I think it started off where you sit there and go, hey, I get to go to the Olympic Games, but you quickly learn it's not about you.
Mm,
It's about the athletes. It's about helping them achieve their Olympic dream and help them do the best they can. And then you
yeah,
get the opportunity to be along.
yeah.
When I was in Torino, I had one of the athletes, actually one of the captain of the sled hockey team, between periods, came and said, Doc, we have a problem. Our star forward is really having a problem, and he's in the showers. And they had to go right back out to play. And so I
Yeah.
went to work with this athlete who was clearly having problems. He was breathing fast and he was
Yeah.
really not doing well. And ends up, he was having a panic attack. And I was able
Oh,
to talk to him, have him breathe slow, have him calm down. And finally he says, I think I'm ready to go. So he went out back and the other team had started. We got back to the bench. He got back into play the second period. He was doing okay. Then the break happens for the third period, and the team is leaving to the locker room to have coach talk to him. And that same player says, Doc, can I talk to you? And I go, are you okay? Are you okay? And he goes, oh, I'm great. Could you do what you did before to do that again? And so we actually were losing in this semifinal game. And
wow.
I worked with the kid, and this is one of my Olympic moments because as the game starts coming to a head and we are tied, this young man gets into the game, passes aggressively, feeds off the puck, we win the game.
Wow.
All because he was able to get back in the game. So it was, and then after we win and everybody's celebrating Team USA, that young player skates by the bench and gives me a little salute, and that was life. I didn't need anything else. I lived vicariously through his victory.
Wow. And for the rest of his life in that team, they win the game and they have that memory, and you were a part of that. It may not have happened without you.
I play a little role, and I get to live vicariously. And that's, as for me as a physician, that's really what I hope, is that if I can do that little bit to help them succeed, then I've done my job.
Yeah, incredible. I think that he will remember that for the rest of his life. And clearly you had a special story as well. Do you have any other stories?
I have a lot of favorite stories as I look for what we call Olympic moments, and that is exactly like that. It's those special times where you make a difference, or you make a difference in their life.
Yeah.
When I was at Rio, I had one of the United States Olympic rowers come into the Olympic medical facility, and he looked lost. He big, tall, fit guy, but he looked lost and confused. And I just kind of stood up and say, what can I do for you? And he was kind of sheepish, and he was a little uncomfortable about asking this question. And he goes, and I go, well, what's the problem? I'm here to help for anything. And he goes, well, I've got this band that was around his wrist, and it was broken. And it was his meaningful purpose to compete at the Olympic Games because he just had a baby the week before he came to the Olympics,
Wow.
and that parent band broke. And
Oh,
so that little thing, I said, well, I could fix that. I've got some duct tape. And so we taped and fixed that band. And my favorite moment in Olympic Games was to watch him compete in the finals of the rowing competition. And I'm looking really closely at the television screen, and I can see that wristband on his wrist. So it wasn't even a medical issue, but it was something I could help him motivate himself to succeed and compete. And so I just loved the moment.
I love that too. I like how you say it, the moment. You love the moment. It is these moments that add up and that matter. It's beautiful. Wow. I have one last question for you. What makes you feel alive?
Well, life makes me feel alive. I think that we all have an opportunity to flavor and affect our lives. And so I have a very positive approach to life. I have a friend of mine who starts the day with everybody around him and he says, it's a great day.
Mm,
It may not be a perfect day, but he starts it at a high level and says, it's a great day.
yeah.
And my philosophy, I do the same thing, but it's how I look at people. And when I
Mm,
look at people and everybody I meet, I look at the gifts that they have. I look at their positives. I kind of ignore any negatives. And I find that as I do that, every day is a great day. And everybody's impressive people because all of us have our own gifts. And if we can find those gifts, it's a great life.
wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all those things. I think they are very memorable, and I just thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Thanks for putting on these podcasts and sharing your spirit with everyone. It's wonderful.
Thank you to Case Wolfer for technical advice and Linroy Palmer Coleman for music.